recorded this go. So that's part of my strategy. And so they're just copying exactly what they're doing. They're sharing the basics. The instruction videos is, it's a really basic set of videos, but guess how many people have watched those videos in the school games? Probably like 1% of people.
Hmm. So is it an actual school games community or is it just the school community?
It's a school games community. They you're in it now that you have a group. You might have to walk through a step or two of like it might look like you have to make a new group, but you don't.
Okay, so the school games and then play for free.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch that video after. That's cool.
yeah. Just like
So does he go through like the strategy, like here's what I would do kind of thing, or what is
yeah,
it? It was just saying what the challenge is.
it's actually really good. The videos are actually really good. Like
Nice.
they're super simple, but you get reminded of certain things. Like, what's the whole point of this? It's actually, it's a different way of doing business. It's keeping it simple, keeping it fun, and creating like a movement.
Hmm.
Um, so versus like doing it the serious way that most people, want to do it the serious way. They're
Hmm.
really good videos. I haven't watched them yet today, but I'm gonna go back and watch it. But then also part of the strategy is making your school group into like this neural network of like nodes and brain cells kind of. So this video, the transcript is going to go right into the classroom as so I'm going to put the video into the classroom as a paid live or a free live call, and then the transcript is going to go under it. So anything we talk about here, you can search at the top of my community and find find it in the transcript.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Hmm. So what obviously you've been diving deep into the school school games, different school communities. What have been some of the coolest school groups that you've seen out there?
The coolest ones, let's
And
see.
I'm not mean, sorry, I should rephrase that. Not, I mean, interesting could
Yeah,
be a category of that, but also like, who's doing really well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
who are you impressed with?
I definitely have a lot of those, but I will also say I forgot to mention the school games winners also get invited to a special group, and let me find it. It's called SK Cafe. Oh, right here. So exclusively for school games winners, top three school affiliates, and top 10 discovery communities. That's pretty crazy. Oh, I guess he created it. I guess Goose created it. But anyways, it's still pretty cool because imagine being in this community where the top of the top are all just hanging out. That's one cool community.
Crazy.
I'm always clicking through and looking at the different communities, and I go to the school games groups and I'm like looking at people's profiles. And then so she's doing, a small group for creatives and former 9 to 5ers. So here's the Kai right here. Easy YouTube growth, right? You get 4 free thumbnails per month and titles, but people will stay for just the optimization after that. They stay for the community aspect. That's almost like that's to get people in the door. So for an agency, if you said like, we'll do 4 ads for you every month or you know, whatever, we'll do the whole like I'll create it for you and he's charging $999 a month, right? So what's like a minimum amount of work that you can do for someone that would get them in and keep them every single month? Because what they're going to stay for is access and being able to post questions and get answers from other people who are on the same journey as you. But to even answer your question even more, synthesizer school And anything that kind of follows this rule of synthesizer school is really impressive to me because they're creating a movement, and that movement is tied to a bigger problem that the world faces. And when you do that, it it's super targeted and super powerful because you get everyone on the same pathway, the same movement. Like if everyone was on in a protest or like a crowd, they're all going for the same goal together, and you create a lot of power. So he talks about that in this video series right here, School Funnel. These videos are really, really good too. So highly recommend watching this one and watching the instructions right here. Even this video, Sam Ovens talking about how school works, really good. Like we gotta all just master the basics. And in doing so, I'm able to go back and actually watch Mike's videos and pull whatever I missed from those videos, like the Build Lab series.
Interesting. That's super cool. That's awesome. So, what is there? I mean, as you walk through those, the school funnel, I mean, what does that typically look like? I like how you're talking about having kind of an upfront or front end value offer, because it is actually it's challenging to sell a recurring product, whatever it is, like if especially to a cold audience. I mean, if you've built up, organic trust and you have that audience already there, that's fine. Like people know you, like you, trust you. Conversion there is totally fine. If you want to scale that though, selling to a cold audience into a recurring anything is you just need to, I mean, you need to be a lot more strategic about it. So I love that idea of having that front end offer, whatever it is. But I don't know, what are some of the other kind of strategies that people are using to get people into their recurring, especially cold?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what's cool is nobody's quite figured it out yet. Even some of the winners of the school games haven't quite figured it out. And I think if you jump on that strategy now, uh, it might be the ticket to, success in school. Because if someone you're basically giving them a gift every single month. Like if you are a top customer at like, I don't know, one of the airlines or like credit card companies, they send you gifts they send you gifts as like a thank you for staying a customer with them. So that's what I'm thinking of, that those 4 YouTube thumbnails, because at the top of the YouTube game, you're posting 4 times a month. So that's not really that hard to do. So at first, people might see that and be like, okay, 4 thumbnails, like why would they, pay $999 for that? Well, first of all, they want someone with experience creating their thumbnails because that kid Kai, he has over 1 billion views on YouTube. So he knows a little bit of what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's made like $150,000 with his channel, and it's in the gaming niche. So that's not that hard to translate into whatever we're doing. And honestly, it's also just about reworking what you're already doing. Like I could say you get what, 20 free Zoom calls with me if
Mhm.
you're in my paid community or my free community. Well, basically you get 40 um every month, right? So that alone is worth the price of whatever it might be, and it's going to go up as I get more valuable.
Yeah, that retention piece is, I mean, we're talking about, because there's different like systems that you need, and this is with any online business, any business in general, but you do need those different systems, right? You need your acquisition system so that you can do it repeatably. You can just get people in. And then you need your obviously you need your delivery systems, all that, but the piece that you're talking about right now is the retention systems. And if you have your acquisition systems and your retention systems dialed in, I mean, Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of business, right? So I feel like the retention piece is also another very difficult piece to crack for these these memberships and these recurring models. I definitely believe that it's possible. I just think that it's hard.
You just
So
have to be better than an app on the App Store because people spend monthly, membership fees on apps in the App Store. And not even,
yeah.
I'm not talking about like Discord, like you can buy the Discord monthly membership, you could buy Apple Music. Those are different. I'm just talking about like pick a random app that you've never like, it's just interesting. People would subscribe to, or like a fitness app. Like people
Mm,
pay $45 a month for this one fitness app. There's others that, they range from 25 to $129 a month for access to the higher level stuff in the app. With
mm,
Skool, you don't even have to create the app, it's already there for you. You just have to fill it with some good content, and the community is what people stay for. So,
mm.
and on top of that, how does Alex, this is, I love this question. This is what I've been thinking about. How did he keep people members of Gym Launch? For it was like an expensive, it's like 5 grand or something a month. I'm not sure. I forget exactly
Yeah.
what it was, but it's expensive. How does Russell Brunson keep people 25 grand a year showing up?
Yeah, it's easy for me to, and this is something I've been thinking about lately as well, is like it's easy for me to conceptualize retention in terms of like the outcomes, right? So if I can sell, and we always talk about this, if we can sell the outcomes rather than the features, then it might be easier for us to sell. If we're going to sell a school group and say, you're going to get this amount of calls, this many hours of content, this many, it's like, okay, as a consumer, I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to piece together. I just assume, like some people will be in the boat of like, I just assume that will be valuable to me. You're an expert in the field. You're giving me your time. You're like, put in the best, but not everyone is going to sell on that. But if you switch that to be more outcome focused, then, you're going to be like, this is basically the roadmap, or this is the sprint. And you think in terms of sprints, maybe you're thinking like, okay, well, this is the sprint, or this is the group where this happens, like join my group and I'm going to help you get your first sale with Facebook ads in your first week. And then when that happens, like move on to the next sprint.
Yeah,
And then it just kind of like perpetuates into the natural sequence of sprint, like of your journey in terms of sprints. And that's an interesting way to look at this whole thing and to retain people. I didn't just make this up. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've been watching other people do it too. So
yeah,
I do think there's something to be said for kind of transforming this like endless, like, why am I going to give you money for it? Like if especially in a cold conversion, I'm not interested in just meeting you off the street and saying, yeah, I'm going to give you, even if it's $10, I'm not interested in giving you $10 for the rest of my life. But if you can kind of tease me and say, hey, for the next 3 months, this is like kind of our sprint we're going to be working on or whatever. I don't know, something like that. It makes it more, it's like, yeah, dude, like I'll definitely, that's worth $30, that sprint. And
yeah.
then we kind of evolve into our next one, and I don't know, it's more like cohort based almost, but yeah, it's like Netflix, if Netflix had all the same movies that it had when I first subscribed years ago, I wouldn't still be subscribed.
Yeah, yeah.
It it's
Actually,
it
that's why I stopped subscribing because I wanted
Oh,
those
really?
movies. So I wanted The Office. I wanted like that. I had it in high school. There was this funny movie that was like it was like in Atlanta, like about this crack dealer, and they took that off of there. And I was like, I can't find it anymore. And I used to like watch it with my friends just to be
That
like,
is
"Yeah, this is
funny.
crazy." But you
You're
know,
in the minority on that one, man.
yeah, no, I know. But it's good because like I don't get distracted by it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just I like I prefer watching Netflix with someone else. So I always just end up using someone else's Netflix when I'm
Yeah.
with them. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of fun.
That's
But I also will say what Mike does to do this, it's very, very tricky. And I'm looking deep into what he's doing now and hearing things that I didn't hear before, right? He has a 9 pillars, 27 steps, and then each module, of the 27 modules has 3 action steps. So that's 81 steps. And
mm,
that's the thing most people get caught up on is,
mm,
first of all, they don't do the first step. But then once they start, and like now that I see it's just the series of steps within the modules,
mhm,
then it really makes sense why it's like a 90-day transformation. Like you can't do it in 30 days. It's more like a 90-day thing. But then most people fail to start at the first 2 days. Like they fall off on the second day
mhm,
and they wait, like Hormozi said this too. It's beautiful. He said he waited what, like a whole year to do that first uh Sunday of like an hour's work of making a funnel or like making a sales page. He
mhm,
also says it in a different way. He says most people wait 20 years to, or no, it's like you can get good at anything in 20 hours. Most people wait 20 years to start that first hour.
interesting.
Yeah. So, but I
Hmm.
really am thinking deeply about how Hormozi did it, and I'm thinking about his scars that he has. He tells you in your content, give people the story without having them experience the scar that you have.
That's cool.
So he did the same thing, right? He said, I'll get you this result in this amount of time and just pay me, right? But then he ended up going negative $150,000 because everyone refunded and said, this person will just do it for free or half the price. So the
Mhm.
gym told everyone else to just refund from Alex's program. So
Yeah.
I want to prevent that from happening to us. We can't just say, I'll get you your first Facebook ad sale in X amount of days because that might end up happening. But what Alex does, he's big on like going deep and like wide in the whole subject. So you keep people like deeply engaged. In Gym Launch, they talk about everything, but they talk about it all deep.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
Employees, they talk about how to structure the gym, how to structure like the workouts,
Mhm.
nutrition, coaching,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
Facebook ads is comprised of a lot of other things. So it's all about just like building out
100%.
like
Yeah,
all the
it's
aspects.
yeah, it's funny. I actually I've led with my online persona is very much Facebook ads, and that's intentional because yeah, like I am everything. I've been doing everything for a long time, generating leads, building funnels, copywriting, um, uh, you know, email and SMS, automations, funnels, like this whole game. I've been in it for a long time. But that's too I've felt like it's too general, it's too vanilla.
Yeah,
I feel like people it doesn't attract people the way that if I say, I mean, and yeah, maybe I could craft my like message a little bit, more pointed, but when I say all I have to say is Facebook ads and the right people, their eyes will light up. And it's kind of like this buzzword that you're like, oh, and then the right people will come to me and then I unfold, oh yeah, I actually know copywriting. Like I'm a copywriter. That's what I do. That's why I'm such a good ad buyer is because
yeah,
I'm a copywriter. Let's work up the funnel and like build out an insane sales page, VSL, webinar, whatever it is. And they're like, oh my goodness, there's a lot more to this than just ads. So
yeah,
um I agree with you. My strategy has definitely been more like this is my one thing and so then it just attracts the type of people that I should be working with, I think, because you know, uh, people that are considering Facebook ads are usually at a point where they've already gotten sales. If like someone's never gotten sales before, it's really hard for me to work with them because I have to help them build a brand new offer, and most
yeah.
offers fail.
It's all about it's all
It's
about
hard.
who you're not working with, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
which is it's fast.
Cheryl, good to meet you. What are you working on?
Oh, Cheryl, how's it going?
Hi, I forgot to turn my voice. I'm okay, thanks. I just kind of popped in because I was kind of thinking I have some people in Facebook who are just thinking of opening a community in Facebook, and I'm at that point where I'm trying to convince them to come on over to school, but it's that transition as if will they be brave enough to make that move because it'll be really good for them.
I have some thoughts on that for sure. I would say
I'll
just
let the
go,
school master talk on that one.
yeah, just you have to just go over the top with it and make a video showing them the walkthrough of how to use School the same way that that Sam Ovens did it. And this is very key right here. It's a 29-minute long video. He just shows them all the features very slowly.
Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial of how Skool works. I'm going to show you around some of the features, and I'm going to show you how to use this platform to make money like this.
Okay, so the reason that's important is because everyone already has a general understanding of how Facebook works. They just need to see how School works and see that one thing that makes them be like, oh, that's obvious. I should use that. And it's fun and it's a challenge too. Like to actually sit down and create that video. Um, it's first of all going to be really great. Like I want to see that video after you create it because you have ways of using School that I don't know about, that Chandler doesn't know about. It would help all of us. So if you do make that video, please post it. But I would recommend doing that and sharing that with the people who are considering Facebook groups. Then the other part is getting them to actually watch it. You have to pre-frame it. You have to pre-frame the video. Say, I made this really awesome video that just shows you the walkthrough of School. Because it's easy to get someone to do something they already were gonna do, but to like kind of nudge them in another direction takes persuasion.
Well, I said, because they were like saying, "Oh, I have this community that's coming out," and I was like, "I have an idea for you. Let me know if you're open to hearing it." And then they came back and like, "Yeah, I'd love to listen to what you've got to say." And then I'm like, "Right." And so,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And that's like some of the sales stuff that I'm not even deep into enough yet, but I'm learning some of that. I'm paying attention to what Hormozi is really saying when he talks and when he writes about sales. And you kind of got to also, what he was saying on the Skool Games call is you have to you have to ask them where they are at now and where they want to be and get them to say it and then spread that gap as far as possible and make that the one concern, that it's the one focus. So you got to say like, do you think you could get to that goal with Facebook? Because that's the reason why they're considering using a Facebook group. They think that it's the key to getting that result. They think that's going to get them the vehicle that's going to get them where they want to go. Because I guarantee they're probably thinking and visualizing that they'll have 1,700 members in their Facebook group. But with Skool, it's harder to get that many members, but the members are worth more even if you have less.
yeah, because I also mentioned the fact because it was going to be, I think it's a paid thing that he's doing. And I was kind of like, well, this would work way better on School. I'm thinking in my head, he'd be crazy not to do it through
Yeah.
School, the way that he's doing things. And I've seen previous groups that he's done before, and I know that the engagement wasn't there because Facebook was like declining in the reach that he was able to get. So even though some people may be the right fit and they will take action, some people are missing out because they're not able to see it when they want. So it's a case of training the people when they come into School how to use School and then reinforcing them to continue using it when they come in.
Yeah, yeah. And getting them to like level 2 or level 3, like the higher you get someone in your School group, the more points they get, the more they're going to stick with it and stay for the long run.
Yeah, yeah. And the gamification as well, that could definitely fit.
Yeah. I'm
So,
thinking of like, giving away Apple products or something at like level 6 or level 7. I would love to, like I would love to be able to spend like on the most expensive Apple laptop and give it to people who win or like who level up.
Cool.
I like what Bajan said about kind of identifying and helping them to identify their current state, or your friend's current state and what he's trying to accomplish, and then just really pointing out the vehicle, the surrounding aspects of the vehicle. He can either take the vehicle of Facebook groups, or he can take the vehicle of school, and just pointing out the difficulties of taking the Facebook group vehicle to get to his point. It's like, I mean, literally throw rocks at that vehicle. It's like that's another principle in sales and copywriting is, you're gonna, basically kind of agitate further the issue that he's currently having. Oh, like, yeah, Facebook groups are dying, the engagement is dying, the reach is dying. People are constantly getting notifications, like they're coming in your group, getting a notification, and then going out. Like it's very, very easy to be distracted there. Which that's the whole point. That's the whole reason you're doing a group, is to engage them and teach them and educate them and their attention. And if you're doing it in a platform that is full of distractions, it's really, really hard to do that, which is why we love Skool. And then you talk about how the vehicle of Skool helps him accomplish his goal. Come over to Skool, you can kind of you can control the environment a lot more. You can isolate the distractions and accomplish what you're trying to accomplish a lot better because you control it. There's no distractions. Also, I mean, you have the payment processor is just right there. It's super easy to use. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. Someone stops paying, they're out of the group. They get reminders, whatever. Like, that stuff is all like, just sell the vehicles and show, hey, look, this is where this vehicle is going to get you. This is where this vehicle is going to get you. You make the choice. I don't care. I'm not invested here. I don't care. You do whatever you want. I'm just someone who's in the space, and I see what's happening over here, and I also see what's happening over here. And this is the choice that I made. I decided to get on the Skool group. You do what you want.
The other good thing is they're already trying to create a group instead of trying to get someone to see why they should be a coach online. Apparently the people you're working with they're already attempting to be coaches. And that's seems obvious, but that's actually really big. A lot of people try and convince people who don't want to do this online business to just start an online business. And we've all done it because we're excited about it, but it's really important that that's awesome that you're working with people who are already trying to do it.
Yeah, he's also he's quite established, so I just don't think he thought about the platform perhaps. So, or what I found is a lot of people that are their businesses they're good, they're making their money, but they're too scared to dip their toes into something so new because it's very uncertain and maybe unknown. So it's kind of guiding them along to be like, this is okay. This is
Yeah.
good.
And there's one feature that, if you show them that one feature, they'll be like, oh, that makes sense. But unless someone told me this recently, unless they say it, then it's a lie. Unless you get them to tell you that that's why they want to do it, then it's a lie.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. Yeah. I like that stuff. I want to get better at the sales stuff. Cool. So yeah, what's up, Sahil? What's up, Nav?
Getting there?
What did you say, Sahil?
Oh, talking to my dog. I just woke
Oh,
up,
okay.
so just out here.
That was funny. As soon as you joined, like you barked. I was like,
Yeah, waking up, taking
oh,
my greens.
nice. Oh, it's looking beautiful out there and where you're at. Yeah,
Getting that sunlight into the eyes.
I miss California. I'm gonna go back as soon as I can.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, Sahil and I had a good call last night. We were talking about using Instagram Reels for his brand, Just Run, to get people into his new school group, which is also called Just Run. Talking about like making 100 reels in 100 days, but make each reel have that give to ask ratio really skewed towards the give, like 99% give, 1% ask. But doing that for 100 days, and his school group is going to be really well built out. He has experts and coaches. He's going that route, and he's focused on cross country and track runners.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a quick overview of kind of everything if you guys want to hear it real quick. In high school, I actually built up an Instagram that was based on running up to 40,000 Instagram followers, but I never monetized it because I just did it off of my passion. I really was heavily invested into the running space for cross country and track. I ran 4 years high school, and then I ran 2 years in college at the community college level, and then 1 year at the Division II level. But I never monetized it, like I said. And my friend who's on the team with me, he's actually a semi-professional runner who's a Hoka ambassador, as well as a 2-time Olympic trials qualifier in the marathon. And him and I are partnering to build out a school program where I'm going to handle like all the growth operation and the marketing. And he's going to be the coach that does like the training plans for the runners. And we're bringing on other coaches as well, a lot of his colleagues, because he's really tapped into the industry. So we're bringing on a sports psychologist, a sports dietitian, as well as a strength and endurance coach, and also a physical therapist. And right now we're early on in the process of sending out proposals, but I really think that going hard on Instagram will help us get the leads that we need, as well as him and I both coach here at the local high school, and we have a presentation that we're going to do in front of the kids, offering them a discounted rate to join the school group.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And especially to keep them engaged through the summer, because we all love school. We all love like how engaged it makes us and how like we're making these connections. So obviously it would be cool to do that for a group of focused runners through the summer. It will just make them better and give them more knowledge versus you could buy an app, a subscription to a running app, and not get this connection that we all have through Zoom, which is super cool. And this is what makes me so stoked on Skool. Like it's actually going to get to that 1 billion users because of what we're doing here.
And one more thing on that note, Bijan, something to think about is that if you were to go to one of these specialists that we're bringing on into the school group that you're going to have access to, it would cost you way more. And in the school group, you're going to get access to all these coaches for a fraction of the price of what their one-on-one rate would be. I got to word that better though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. That, I mean, it in the business and money niches, they say, the membership pays for itself, and yours kind of is doing that too. I think that's solid.
Yeah, and you have your offer stack up too. Wait, let me pull up the group. Let's see. Let's run.
We have all these different marketing strategies as well. Like some of our athletes on the team, they're really big into Strava. They have like hundreds of followers on Strava. And every time they post like a run, they'll get like 80 to 100, 120 likes on their posts. It's interesting. I thought someone was talking to me from the next door. And then, yeah, we have decided like 59 a month is where we're going to start. But I quickly can see that going to like 97 once we really dial in the onboarding process, and maybe by the end of summer, honestly, if we dial things in.
Hoka merchandise too. So he has that, well, your coach has like 15 or 50 pounds, like weight, not money, but like pounds of gear from Hoka every month, right?
Yeah, Chandler. So since he's a Hoka ambassador, they send him anything he wants up to 50 pounds a month.
unreal, dude.
So that's giveaways. Like this is built out really, really well.
His
So
garage is stacked like full of boxes to the top. It's
yeah,
actually like you walk in there and you think that he's got like an eBay operation, but it's all Hoka gear. And the kids are so spoiled because each season, he gives it back to them. Like we reinvest back into the program so much. Like everyone gets probably 2 pairs of shoes in the summer, 3 pairs of tops, 2 pairs of shorts, one what's it called? Tank top, and the girls get sports bras. Like they're so spoiled. It's crazy.
I'm Hoka through and through, man. Right here.
I want
Hey,
some Hokas soon. I want
okay.
this.
I gotta introduce you to him. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to show you what Hokas I got because he's given me probably 5 pairs
Oh
since
my
we've been
gosh.
together.
that's so cool. But so this wasn't like this when Sahil first created the community. Like he worked and added this stuff, and it came together really, really nice. And the logo is really cool. And the I haven't watched the about page video, but um, like I see this growing, and the really cool thing is it's scalable infinitely
Mhm.
across the US and across like Canada and across even other countries.
I was working on this in my dream actually. Like last night, I had the new banner in my head done, and it was the five coaches because like, do you think that it's gonna make more conversions? Maybe Chandler could answer this. Instead of the logo, put like their faces and have them like all stacked up, and then their credentials down below as the profile picture for the landing page of school.
You said put their face instead of the logo.
Yeah,
Um,
because Mike was saying the faces stand out more, and I agree. Like from a YouTube point of view.
Well, you can have so this right here, this one, when you share your school group like in a text, this is what pops up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So that's why Mike has his right there. He has his face right there.
Mm.
It's very smart because, this picture isn't on the about page. Actually, no, this one was shared when I sent you the text. Interesting. But yeah,
I think for him it works because his face is all over all of his content.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And the color shirt he's wearing too, which is black and
yeah.
hat.
Like
Yeah.
if I'm stumbling upon Mike on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, like I'm seeing his face. And then if all of a
Mhm.
sudden I get to a school group and I'm seeing pro, like just black and white pro, I'm like, is this the right place? But by him doing this, it's like I know it's the right place. So I don't know if it's as much of a thing of like face versus brand. I think it's like, what are you doing everywhere else so that it's consistent and that you're making sure that you're not losing anyone or making anyone question at any point in time, am I in the right place?
Yeah.
So
Got
that's
it.
my thought on it.
And
I
also,
think
I realized Mike is doing exactly what, Nike did, because now you just say make once and that's it. He's trying to build it like the brand, just keeping it so simple and just putting make once everywhere, just like the Nike logo is everywhere.
Mhm.
yeah, the cool thing is with that school landing page, we can add multiples. So I guess I'll just add that as like the second slide or third one with the coaches and their, degrees, because everyone that we're bringing on has like a master's degree or higher. So
And I think you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you can have either 6 or 7 about page pictures.
yeah, that's cool.
But that's
Very,
where if you have one video that does the everything that the about page should do, that might be even cooler, but it is harder to make.
I got you.
You just got to like compress everything from this way and from and then put it all into a video. It has to have like click here to watch now, and then it has to have like who you are, then it has to have the bonuses, then it has to have all the slides you would have there. So it's just, I love how Skool is set up because it's like breaking down the components, or you could add all the components together and get the same result. But it works even as a beginner or as a pro. Ooh, a light bulb moment. That's awesome.
What Sahil, do you have any paid, like, I know you have members in there, but are any of those are they paid yet? Like those are your 59 people yet?
I'm
No,
in,
that's like Bajan and the coach, and as well as like one of the other coaches, like his admin. We've been
Okay.
in pre-launch right now, considering like him and me and the other coach have been talking about like the pre-launch and the launch and pricing and structuring, like he wants to get all the coaches in first and get them on their weekly calls before we launch. So that way, when the runners come into the program, it's already like flowing where it's like, hop on the live call, do the onboarding, check out the
Yeah.
classroom. So like, every Sunday, coach and I, we meet up and we film 3 hours of pocket coaching. So that way he's getting like 6 or 7 pocket coachings knocked out each week. And what we did for the proposals for the other coaches is we sent them out a Google Doc that has like an outline of what we expect from them or what we want. And what it is for the other coaches that we onboard is essentially they film anywhere from like a 10 to 15-minute video about the topic that they want to do a Q&A on that day or that week. So let's say, for example, this dietitian or person that we're bringing on, we want her to film a video. Well, the most common question runners ask her, specifically her, is about iron deficiencies. So her first video that we want her to cover is about iron deficiencies. So she's going to film a 10 to 15-minute video on that on Tuesday. She's going to send that to me to upload to her classroom in Google Drive. And then she'll do her live call on Thursday. So by Thursday, we'll have paying members because we're going to go vouch into, the high school here and say, hey, we have a special offer for you guys. We're bringing on a dietitian to our program here at the school for an additional cost. And that's the same across the board. And her price is pretty reasonable. She said she would do this for $50 an hour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
I'm actually thinking about launching a offer in the health niche as well. One I've been working on for a while. It's a diabetes and or thyroid offer. I'm running it right now. It's killing it. I don't have it in a membership format, but it could potentially just take off because of how well my high ticket stuff is doing for it right now.
Love it. Yeah, I have to check it out.
But you're inspiring me. I don't know. I'm usually only thinking about the money and coaching stuff. It's something I don't want to stay in forever.
Yeah.
Coaching coaches how to coach coaches, and it's
Right.
like it just kind of perpetuates that way. But yeah. Are you doing like the growth operator model?
I'm naturally into that space because I do, like, in my day job, I'm a content manager. So I'm used to building out people's like social medias and their content and how to like grow like their social media presence. So like that's just where my mind naturally goes, and just learning about Skool and how you can become a growth operator for influencers too. That's like interesting to me.
I think me and Sahil are like also we like are coming into that growth operator phase. Like me and him weren't talking about it for a while. Like we didn't talk about growth operator stuff, but now because it seems so nebulous. But now like I sense that me and him are both getting to the space where we're like, oh, it makes sense. Like that's what they mean by growth operating. And it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Have you seen that Eddie guy?
Yeah.
Slinging his program. That's insane, man.
So what's so fascinating about him and his friend, I forget his friend's name, but they kind of partnered on it. They're first of all like 18 and 21, and they started it before they were like, but what they did was they spent a whole summer like just doing the crowdsourcing of information thing on TikTok. They were in parking lots asking local business owners and asking local rich people, like, how did you do this? Like, how do you do? They were interviewing people. And then it developed and developed and developed. And then they got 200K on TikTok each. And then they have like, it kept growing like that on TikTok because they stayed committed for the whole summer. And that's sort of like the phase we're at right now, and now he's like, what, making like 100K a month or something like that.
Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, I watched his webinar just to spy on him, and I was like, yeah, I know this script. This is a script I've seen many times, man. I've written the script.
Yep.
But yeah, he's killing it.
Chandler, one of the things that I'm doing for like help grow the account like pretty big quickly is that I have a mutual friend. Like I've been a fan of this guy's YouTube channel. I'm not sure, were you on that call when I talked about that influencer that we're doing a collab with, Chandler?
I can't
Sinbad.
remember.
That was 2 nights ago.
Okay, well, I'm following or I'm fans of this guy on YouTube. He's like a personal development YouTuber who has like 577,000 subscribers.
Sheesh.
And just over the last 2 years or so, we've been talking back and forth on Instagram. I got a follow back from him, and like we're mutuals because I help him out with like his running coaching and stuff because he's gotten a lot into fitness recently. And he posted on his Instagram that he's training for a half Ironman. And so the idea came up of like, hey, what if I ask him if he needs a pacer as well as content, and what if that we can make that work? So my coach or my my partner can pace him easily because he's gone to the Olympic trials, and then I can go film content for him. And he agreed. So we got on a call, and he's like, yeah, so what do you see the vision here being? And I just kind of went through the details of like, yeah, we should do a YouTube video for your channel. And then if he had brought up that he would have me on his podcast too, which was really neat considering like he's got all this big audience. So I'm kind of just thinking through what I could talk about as well as like what the offer could be for his audience that's into running. But yeah, it's super cool to like have a
Dang.
platform to talk about school as well. You know what I mean?
Go, man. That's sick.
That's
Yeah,
like the
I
first
would,
time I've seen that kind of model.
yeah, I mean, if I was working with him, I would try to figure, I mean, has he helped anyone through any kind of transformation?
Yeah, so his core offer, instead of like AdSense, which obviously he does YouTube AdSense, but what he
Yeah.
does is offers YouTube coaching, one-on-one coaching for people who are busy entrepreneurs who are interesting people but don't know how to do YouTube properly. He takes on a cohort of like, I don't know, 6 to 15 people a month, and he charges $1,000 for his
Hmm.
cohort YouTube. So
That's
that's what
cool.
his side offer is.
What's his name? I want to look at him right now.
Captain Sinbad.
No way.
Yes, sir. That's my guy. You know Captain?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know him, but I definitely I've seen his stuff.
You hear that, Bijan? He's known, bro.
I know.
go.
No, I knew he was known. There's so many people on YouTube that are well known that I don't know about. I love that. YouTube is so cool.
Dude, he's big time. Holy cow.
Yes, sir, bro. Yes, I'm telling you, bro. I'm so excited. Like, this is a dream collab of mine.
That is insane, dude.
Yeah. I've
Good
known
for
him for like,
you.
thank you. I've known him for 5 years online, but then the last 2 years we've been like more so in contact. And yeah, I'm so excited. He lives in Minnesota, and he said, let's do it. Like, whenever you want to come. Basically, the way the structure is happening is that he says, come. I think it makes sense for you to come like earlier on before the Ironman happens so we can film the podcast, and then come again in September when the actual Ironman happens, because he's going to get an Airbnb for his videographer himself, me, and my coach. And we're just going to be out there hanging out the like first couple days beforehand and vlogging it.
Wow, man. This is an insane opportunity. I mean, you play this one right, you're gonna be eating real well.
Here's the topic.
That's what Mike said too.
Yesterday, I had jotted down all the different podcast topics that I could cover, going into a lot of different things like childhood, video games, like FPS mindset, competition, because I know he's a competitor, esports, personal development, running, YouTube, personal branding, talk about more work stuff, values, INFJ, like that's like my, what's it called? Myers-Briggs test, the
Oh,
immigrant mentality. Like, his channel is a lot about that, because I'm not sure how much content you've seen of him, but dude, there's so much that we have in common. It's crazy.
that's cool. Dang,
Yeah, I
dude.
can
Good for you. I'm excited.
appreciate it.
I'm happy to collab with you on any of that stuff. I mean, not that I need anything. I just, yeah, happy to bounce ideas off. That's cool.
Where are you based out of, Chandler?
I'm in Salt Lake, Utah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
Chandler
Cool.
has a cool nutrition company too.
Really?
yeah, I own a supplement thing. These
Nice.
they're back there. They're pre-workouts.
What's in there?
Greens, creatine, pre-workout, nootropics, electrolytes. It's an all-in-one.
I'm pretty interested in that kind of stuff. I've done a fair amount of research. You know Nootropics Depot?
What's that?
Nootropics Depot. Have you heard of that website?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's a very like common one that's like really credible of where a lot of people that I know who source nootropics go to for purchasing their stuff.
Okay.
You know, I
Yeah,
saw this guy on TikTok. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
our just in our factories down in Orlando.
Mm.
I don't know where they're sourcing the nootropics from. So maybe they're getting it from Nootropics Depot, but no,
Yeah,
probably.
That's cool. I need some. I'm gonna buy some and do these
Okay.
calls on your pre-workout.
Yeah, man. I've seen this brand. This is yeah, I've seen it around for sure.
yeah. There's a guy on YouTube called Nootropics Rev. He's a reviewer. Bijan, this is something interesting for you to look into. He's a real estate agent up in Toronto who's like pretty successful, but on the side he does all these reviews of nootropics, and he has a Discord community as well. And so people ask him about like their stacks, and he knows all about like the nitty gritty of like, oh, if you stack this with this, it's going to have this synergistic effect. And if you do this, like, it's crazy. He goes into the depth of like, what if I combine caffeine with L-theanine and this, and I add caffeine? Like, it's crazy. But if you
You
get
know what's actually crazy about this though, about Skool? It's that this level of information used to only exist on obscure forums. You had to
Yeah.
like hang
That's
out on those forums all the time. So Sam
Mhm.
Oven's making it in the image of those forums, sort of, but we also have the ability to do live Zooms now because Zoom technology has improved and it's become a thing. It's like this is so cool.
Chandler, if you were to start a nootropic school, I would help you build that out.
Dude, I've another offer that I've written out before is like not that I've ever done it, but I want it, is like a dopamine detox type of situation where you're eliminating caffeine, all the
Yes.
stuff. I mean, all the stimulants of modern day society, and like just going straight monk mode and deep work, focus, like tapping into that potential you, kind of a little more woo-woo, but all the stuff I think that high performers are probably interested in, but also addicted to. So it would be I think that would be a fascinating. I don't have time for that right now, but I would love to do something like that eventually.
No, that's a great idea. I
Yeah.
follow someone on Instagram. I'm not sure if you heard of him. His name's Sober Fitness.
Uh,
Sober Fitness right now, that is his offer. He's working on a detox for digital detox. But
That's cool.
he's got some cool offers. He has his dailies, which is like his daily exercises that he does to stay like in really good shape. And all it is 10 minutes of leg raises or 10 minutes of one exercise, but he does it every day. So it's he's a cool guy. I like his content and like the way he
That is
presents.
cool.
Really, it's good.
Is
Great
Instagram
content.
your main platform?
Yeah.
When you're saying you're a content creator, helping other people become content, like Instagram's your thing?
Oh, so I have a school community right now I'm working on for content manager based stuff. With my clients, they're focused mostly on YouTube. One of my clients, his name's Henry. He's actually the #1 Madden player in the world with his earnings. He's made over $1.1 million playing Madden.
Playing what?
Madden.
Madden. What the
Yeah.
heck?
He made 450K last year.
Oh my gosh,
And
dude.
he's 20, 21.
That's insane.
It really is.
Dude,
I want to
YouTube is the next frontier for me, but I'm so scared of it. I'm so intimidated.
Watch
well,
this
you're
video
looking
I
at the right
sent to
guy.
Sahil. I sent
Big
this
on.
video that Andrew Kirby made. It's an hour and 56 minutes. I'm gonna put it in the chat. It was, let's see. So it was from a mastermind that he did. It's like $50,000 for a ticket.
Who's
And
this
Andrew Kirby.
on
So
YouTube?
just like listen to that patiently and like let it work on your brain for the next 10 years. Like let it pick your direction for the next 10 years. It was very, very fascinating. You know, it's a slow video, but what he's saying is content outperforms ads in the long run. At first, ads will outperform content, but
Oh, 100%.
and we all know that. We all know that.
Yeah,
But
100%.
he said what changed his life was he made a, you know, he started uploading YouTube videos from his dorm room. He didn't even have bed sheets. And that was like his background. He was just uploading on, I guess, Marcus Aurelius, and he's kind of stuck to that stoic niche. I guess that's the stoic niche, but it's like productivity. So he made $1 million with a productivity product, helping entrepreneurs, you know, beat procrastination. And it was an info product, and it was just on a little MP3 drive that he bought for what, like $3 and sold for $7, something like that. And he made $1 million with one of those things. Maybe that was later on down the line, but the key thing is that now he has over 600,000 subscribers. He gets opportunities all the time to coach people on YouTube. Mr. Beast was one of his clients, which is crazy, actually. You know, 6 degrees of separation is insane. Like,
So Andy Furby?
Andrew Kirby.
Kirby. Oh, geez.
He's big in on Skool. He's like the guy that community manage. He's a community manager of
The Skool Games.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Wait,
I have
so
to.
my name's Andrew Kirby.
That guy.
but it's
Okay.
good, you know, and it's not complex stuff. He's just like simply upload. And then when he's saying content, he's like treat content like with a lot of value. When you're creating content, you know, most people get this wrong and have gotten this wrong in like the social media space for a long time when they try to do SMMA stuff. They didn't correctly talk about the value proposition of like you actually have to buy a tripod and a light and a nice camera and really focus on good content that people will watch. I think
Yeah.
that's key.
Yeah. That's I love when you know treat content with, you know, the high quality, high value, all of that. One of the most successful sales strategy in the digital realm is right now, in terms of like quickness, it's running ads to a webinar, which it's the quickest way that I know how to turn cold traffic into high ticket buyers. And it's still working right now. Yeah, like it's dead in a lot of industries, but it is still working in many other industries. And I'm behind the scenes on a lot of those right now. So I see it working. But the other strategy that I see a similar, it's not as fast. It doesn't happen as fast, but it's a similar effect, and it's a lot cheaper in terms of cash. It's not as cheap time wise, but it's YouTube. If you can get someone to stumble upon your content and then binge it, they're suddenly like so bought into your philosophy. They trust you. They see, and think about the gurus that you have recently discovered over the last couple of years. Like you stumbled upon their stuff and then you started binging their content. Now you're bought in, you know, and like you're like looking for ways to give them money. And that's another sales, like digital sales dynamic that is extremely powerful. Webinars are great, but it's not as evergreen as people want them to be. You know,
And
and I, you know, I'm the webinar guy, so I'm not going to be preaching that right now from the mountaintop, but that is the case. You know, that and same thing with ads. Ads will never be evergreen. You need to tweak them constantly, and the platforms are always changing, but it does scale. So, and it's nice, you know, when you need an extra $1 million in a year, like you're doing that with ads. So I think that's kind of the key. But yeah, like if you can get it you know, some videos that people can just binge on, and it's like exactly, and what it is like the psychology behind it is like you're connecting with their soul. Like when a guru starts like speaking in the language of your soul and you're like, this is my spirit animal, you're buying anything they give you.
So check this out. I didn't actually link it the right way, but when you link a YouTube playlist a certain way, you can get it to start from your first video and just keep playing. And there's actually a sneaky thing that happens there. If you set up all your really high quality videos into one playlist and you just send that link to everyone, you know, the videos will work on those people. It because they end up watching the whole thing without thinking about it. They don't have to select another video. It just goes to the next video. Matt Gray is a good example. He did this once in a school post. You click the link, it started playing his first really good video, then it goes into the next one, then it goes into the next one. And all his videos are really high quality. They do the story thing really well, but it works. It's a simple thing that really can work if you do it, if you structure it the right way.
Chandler, I'm gonna drop in the chat some thumbnails. I'm not sure if you have a thumbnail guy, but I can introduce you to someone if you need.
Day trading attention.
Gary V, dropping today.
Oh yeah, dude. I saw his
Here we go.
marketing manager talk about this. This is my
Did?
yeah, it's my shameless plug. He started following me and I was like, whoa, this is the biggest celebrity who is following me.
Nice. Who was it?
Yeah, he's
A lot of people don't know that.
oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Dang, dude, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I think it just went live yesterday, but I had pre-ordered it, so I'm hoping that makes it come faster, which it should be here today. I'm curious. I think it's going to be good. He goes really into depth on each platform.
Yeah, so his head marketer, the guy who I was just talking about, he yeah, his whole thing was like, hey, if you think that Gary Vee is out of touch and like, you know, he's just too out there and guru, that he's not in the trenches anymore, you need to check out his book, see how in the trenches he actually is, and that he's still got it basically. So I'm interested to see if he lives up to that promise.
Oh, for sure.
But also just keep in mind, what is that book really?
What is it?
It's content. You're spending time with Gary
True.
Yeah,
in
100%.
words. It's just a fail safe. If YouTube goes down, he still has his book. Like books can't just evaporate unless the Earth gets hot enough, like Fahrenheit 451 or whatever it is. Which that book is crazy. That book is really crazy. Because look at the screens we all have. Like I have a screen here, here, here. That's exactly what they said in the book. And that book was written before TVs were invented, I think.
That's like an Orwellian type book or what?
Ray
Yeah.
Bradbury, yeah, essentially.
Oh,
It's a good book. It's one of
They
the few
basically
books that I
burn all
read.
the books.
Yeah. Oops. So yeah, wow. This was a really awesome call. We could keep going. We could go all day if you guys want, but I know you guys got other things to do, and I'm gonna get this uploaded to the group and put the transcript in there so that way it becomes searchable.
alrighty.
Oh, yeah, this was good. I had no clue what to expect. This is the first call I've been on of yours, Bajan. It was obviously awesome. I had no clue what to expect. I saw you posted the notification. I was like, I'm curious. I'm gonna pop in here. And it was cool how it turned out. I'm glad I did. I think that it's this world is very lonely. You know, we're all like staring at our screens all day, and it's
Trying to
nice
figure it
to
out.
be able to like I'm not talking to my wife about this. I have 3 kids. I'm not talking to my kids about this. You know, I'm not like none of my friends. I don't have friends. You know, they don't know about this stuff. My family, like I can't like you can't talk to anyone about this stuff. You know, unless you're in these types of scenarios. So this
Yep.
is it's nice to be able to have that outlet.
Yep. And you know what is cool about this too? It's when you think to Alex Hormozi building gym launch, you read into what the stories that he's telling. What he's really saying is that he was on daily Zoom calls with his sales team. Even like they were making a lot of money, but also he was committed to getting on those daily Zoom calls, and coaching his sales team, and they were all in different places in the world. That's like the unspoken stuff, is that connection that happened on those sales calls. So we're recreating that through Skool, and it's pretty cool.
Let's go, man.
Let's get some money. Everybody should be making some money, and then we'll have even better conversations.
Love
Big
that.
fact.
All right. See y'all in the next one. This was awesome.
All right. See ya.
Bye.